But today I'm going to be talking about some pretty intense stuff. This is not something I'm very open about, so forgive me if I seem to be losing my train of thought or if I get emotional. So I'm going to start with May of last year. In May of last year, I was feeling very depressed. And it's okay. Pick him up. It's okay. Just pick him up. It's okay. And so I went to my family doctor to see if she could prescribe me medication. You know, not a big deal. Whatever. At that time, I was having thoughts of harming myself, which I have a history of since I was about 15, 16. But at that time, she decided that if I wanted help, that I really needed to go to an inpatient facility. So it was either me going voluntarily or involuntarily, meaning police escort, all that stuff. And I really did not, want to do that. So I told her that I would go. I was not happy about it. I knew that I was not crazy. I was just sad, and I needed something. Bye. I needed something to help, like calm my nerves and make me not so sad, So in May of last year, it was like Mother's Day weekend. I was in a mental institution, and so I had to spend my first real Mother's Day in there, and I was not happy being there. I was in there with people who were not like me, people that were not just a little bit sad. So that was really hard, to kind of comprehend, why am I in here? I'm not crazy, And I feel like mental illness has such a negative, what's the word? It's such a negative thing. I can't think of the word right now, which is not the case at all. So I spent 5 days in the mental institution, and I was so happy whenever my mom and my brother and Avi, came to get me. I'm crying. God, stay strong. I push through this, It's okay. Pick him up. So during that time, I had a full-time job. At that time, I was, single mom in it, and so things were hard anyways, could barely make ends meet most of the time. Well, after I got released, I had to wait and see my family doctor so she could release me to go back to work. Well, I didn't get an appointment with her for 2 weeks or so after I'd been released. So my employer at the time decided that it was best, because I couldn't give her a straight answer on when I was coming back to work, that I should just be fired or whatever. So then I lost my job, and that sucked. That sucked so much. Here I am with this mental illness, and I don't have a job, and it's hard. It was hard. And then, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit. Fast forward to August of last year. Me and Avi's dad, worked things out, and we got back together, and me and Avi moved to North Carolina. Okay. I still wasn't working. And then, so we're going to fast forward to about March, February, you're okay, of this year. He bought a house, all that stuff, but I still had all of these feelings of overwhelming sadness and overwhelming anger and anxiety, and I decided I didn't need my medication anymore, which, was a mistake. I just didn't like the fact that I have to be medicated to be happy. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to be on medication like that. So in March of this year, I started seeing a new therapist, and she's absolutely wonderful. Me and her just have this fantastic connection. So I've been seeing her since about March, and bye. And so she put me in touch with a behavioral care doctor, and I see him every 2 weeks. I see my therapist every week, but he is the one that put me on medication again, and he put me on Lexapro at first, which was fine, but he still felt there was some underlying diagnosis, that we hadn't quite figured out yet. So then I was on Lexapro and Abilify. Now, whenever you look up Abilify, it's used for bipolar and schizophrenic as well as depression, which I was like, dude, like I'm not crazy. You know what I mean? So that sucked. I'm not a crazy person. I'm just sad. Pick him up, honey. Pick him up. And so then about 3 weeks ago, he put me on a medication for sleep. And, all my medications, I feel like it's a good medley of them all, they seem to be really helping. But about 3 weeks ago, I went to a place called the Haymont Institute, and I know what you're thinking. It's a mental institution, which they do have an inpatient facility there, but I go to the outpatient clinic. I went to, like I said, about 3 weeks ago to talk to someone about, some underlying issues, and which that's a whole nother video I do not even want to talk about. Sorry, I'm trying to watch Avi. She's she's a hot mess. Thank you, babe. She's eating cheese balls with a spoon. Thank you, Destiny. Where was I? Well, open the door, baby. Don't push on that. Open it. So I went there. Thank you, Jamie. I went there, like I said, about 3 weeks ago. Don't push on that. And so I talked to the lady, whatever, and then I went, so it was like 3 weeks before I, I just went Friday. I just went again Friday, and I had to do some more testing. It was like 3 tests. One of them had like 600 questions and the other 2 had like 10 or 12, which that was awful. I felt like I was never going to get done with that. Hey, how about we quit, Aves? We do not do that. And it will be a couple more weeks before I get my like final results and my final diagnosis. But as of right now, I have major depressive disorder, postpartum depression, anxiety disorder, bipolar. They're thinking I possibly have a little bit of ADHD and possibly a little bit of schizophrenic, which all of those really freak me out. You know, like I knew like depression and anxiety were definitely there, especially after I had AV. You know, I just never, I just didn't feel the same. And I know that sounds, I don't know what that noise was. And I know that sounds awful. You know, I mean, of course I love her. I loved her the moment I laid my eyes on her, but I just felt overwhelmingly sad, like more so than before after, you know, I had her. And it's been really hard. I mean, of course, I don't feel like myself. I know I'm not 100% better. Excuse me. But I'm trying to get better so I can be the best. There you go. The best mother that I can be. So it's hard, you know, because I just want to be the best I can for Abby. I mean, she deserves that much, you know. Excuse you? Yeah. I feel like it has not only affected my everyday life, but my relationship as well. And things have been pretty rocky. I don't expect any relationship to be perfect all the time. But it's really hard. And I don't know. I don't even know what to say other than that it's hard. And I just wish I was better. But I know these kind of things, you know, it's going to take more time and more therapy and more medication. And I'm just hoping and praying that everything just works out, you know, the way that it's supposed to. I don't want to be sad anymore. I don't want to feel this way anymore. It's really hard. Like, I always feel alone. Even in a room full of people, I still feel alone. And I feel like paranoid, and I feel like I don't know. I can't explain. And then I look at Avi and I think, how in the heck can I be sad with that sweet little face? But I'm still sad. And I just want to get better, and it's hard. It's so hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. But I'm
I'm trying for that little girl. You know? I just wanted, I guess, for people to hear my story. Because not everything is always what it seems. You guys probably look at my profile and think that I have this great life and everything is going great for me, which my life is good. And just I'm sad. And yeah, I'm okay. Thank you, baby. Yeah, I just wanted everyone to hear my story, and y'all are not alone either, Mama, Dada. Daddy's gone right now, baby. I don't want anyone to ever feel, I guess, the way that I do, because it's miserable. It's so miserable. Like, I don't have interest in anything that I once had. Mama. Some days I just want to lay in bed all day and do nothing. Mama. Avie! Mama. Avie. Yeah, you can go outside and play. It's okay. I don't know. Like I said, I don't have interest in things that I once did. Some days I just want to lay in bed. Some days I have zero appetite. Some days I want to eat everything in the house. It's weird what these kind of things do to your body, and I don't know. I just wanted to get on here and share my story. And I want to thank everyone for watching and seeing me ugly cry. Which I did not anticipate doing, but like I said, it's not something I feel like everyone can talk about, just because there's such a negative, what is the word, stigma around mental health and mental illness, but it's a real thing. I live it, I breathe it every single day, and I hope that, if I can just help one person not feel the way that I do, then I'm doing something good. And I appreciate all you guys on here saying that, I'm not alone, and, I can message you guys whenever, I'm having a bad day or whatever. I really appreciate that. I do. But I don't know. I'm not saying that I won't message you and talk about it when I'm having a bad day, but it's very unlikely. I don't know. I don't like talking about my problems. Even in therapy, I just feel like there are so many more things that could be worse. Oh, yeah? And when I think about it, my problems are, excuse my language, but not shit, compared to what they could be. And I don't want anyone to think like I'm jumping on here to talk about this to get attention or pity from anyone. I don't want nobody to think that. I just wanted to get my story out there and let people know that everything in someone's life can look perfect, but really it's not, I don't know, but I appreciate everyone for watching. Avie's getting whiny, I'm sure you can hear her, but I'm gonna take her outside and we're gonna play. And I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.